Oh, okay. Sorry, I'll get a count to wait for that.
Thanks for the catch.
Nice catch.
Well, I'm Claudia and Brad. I was born in Mexico. I've been in Canada for the last 9 years.
I'm Brad Poe, born in Alberta, lived in Saskatchewan most of my life. We traveled here about 4 years ago and fell in love with the province and just decided that back then, 4 years ago, that we were going to come and make Newfoundland a home for us and set up a business of some sort. Mamacita wasn't in the picture back then, but here we are now and loving it.
Yeah. Well, Mamacita, Mexican kitchen and Latin market, that's how we call it. It's pretty much, it's like an offer where you can find traditional Mexican food and ingredients for it. Our thing is cooking. We're cooks by heart and by profession and by experience, both of us. So, but then it's like in order to make a restaurant basically of some sort, we need the ingredients. So just to bring them here into the island, it's a whole different than everywhere in Canada, it seems to be, you know, like you need to make your own gigs to make it happen. So that's where the Latin market comes on board. Mamacita is like a home cooking take-up place where you can get your daily basics that you will use to eat at home, or the seasonal items, you know, like it's just a little bit of everything.
Yeah, it's fun cooking. It's like traditional Mexican meals. We got tacos and flautas and different stews. We got some hot grab and go things, some menu items.
Like I said, like we have like 35 products that we daily you will find in there. Pre-orders are always great, right? Like so we can accommodate literally so much more than just like our takeout. We can do your baby shower, your birthday. We make cakes, you know, special orders for any means, right? Like there is no small events for us because we're there all the time. Basically everything that you eat in there, we will be making it. So we know exactly if we're capable to do it. So saying like, oh, maybe I have like a brunch with my friends and it's only 6 of us, ask us. And I'll develop a brunch for you.
It doesn't have to be Mexican food necessarily either. It can be if we were going to cater for roast beef and mashed potatoes, for example.
Yeah. You want to eat delicious? We'll make it happen. We know how to. You know, just ask us and it's like just come, get to know us, stop at the shop, you know, give it a chance to some different flavors and maybe you'll fall in love with it. Yeah. Well, when we were trying to develop like what to do as a family, like I remember like we come out with an ad in Facebook pretty much, and that there was like a business opportunity in Montpearl. So we contacted the person right away. We went to the place and it was small but big enough to make something great. Happens to have like a small kitchen in the back. When we hear the story that it's been a place that it's been there for like 25 years, somebody that cooked many years in there, and then was another cooking place, and then another, you know, the past owners, they were very thoughtful and helpful, you know, to make things happen. It just makes sense. It fit all our possibilities. So we came to a deal. And we started the processing, and that's how we end in 104 Park Avenue. Brad and I, we've been cooking for many years. Yeah. I came to Canada with a working visa to work in a type of like a tapas, Latin type of like fusion restaurant. And I remember like 3 months after being in Canada, I called my parents and I said like, you know what? I want to retire in Canada. And my dad chuckled and he's like, oh, what do you need? And I'm like, I just need time. And here I am 9 years now, like with a partner, kids, a house, second province. So life is good.
Yeah. The cooking that's
how we met.
Yeah, that's how we met. She was the chef at that restaurant she spoke of, and I was the sales rep for a food company, and she was the purchasing chef. We always wanted to go to different places every year. A couple times we'd go to different countries and travel, and then we started saying, well, let's spend some time in our own country. So we started going to different parts of Canada, and we said, well, let's go to see Newfoundland. So we came, it was 4 years ago, we flew to St. John's, rented a car, and we drove 4,000 kilometers in 10 days and I think literally it was we were in Bonavista on our third or fourth day, and we said, man, we just loved it. The people, it was a chill environment, beautiful. Let's move here. We're going to move here. So we started planning 4 years ago, and it was almost like just worked out perfectly, the timing.
But it's different than Saskatchewan, everything, the life in here.
Oh, yeah, it's just the processes for doing things is different.
Yeah.
In the same country. I said, like, I feel like we're in a different country when we first arrived here.
Yes.
Just the lifestyle, I think, is nice. It's more relaxed lifestyle.
I think that, like, for me, like, it has been like an easy pace, but a challenge pace, you know, like in Saskatchewan, we never experienced to be on waiting lists for everything, and to be just kind of like left in the limbo, hoping and crossing fingers that things will allocate into place. Like, I already have the experience of the citizenship and the permanent residence and the working visa, you know. Saskatchewan, it's one of the provinces that allows you to do process easier, faster. As long as you take the time to read the instructions, things will fall into place. Within here in Newfoundland, it's challenge, honestly, having the unknown, where we weren't able to find a house when we moved here. We have to camp for 2 months.
3 months.
3 months.
Camping.
Yes.
Finding a house was a challenge because we came with the expectation to buy a house, and we first started looking, well, let's find something to rent for the first year. And oh my goodness, like 40 people show up to look at the same house.
Newfoundland, it has been the greatest province to open a business in the time that we are in the business that we did develop, you know, because there's a lot of immigrants coming, a lot of Latin community coming. And here we are now, 2 months in the city, we can't find a house. We find a house, but then you don't find a daycare for your kids. You don't have a daycare. You don't have a nanny. You don't have family. You don't have a family doctor. Like, everything waiting. So it's kind of like to find the balance of all the personal aspects and the business aspect. The city of Montpelier, it was awesome to make our process do as fast as they could. But then, yes, like here we are, like as a lot of other families, right? Not only immigrants, a lot of Newfoundlanders without a family doctor, without a daycare for a kid, on a waiting list, like crossing fingers that our kids is gonna get accepted into school. So it's like, that's, to me, it's the tricky part, you know, like where it's like I personally feel that we're in the greatest province in Canada. It's amazing. It's amazing in so many ways. And then it's like, like why it has to be so complicated in that other part, that it's not optional, that you need a healthcare, that you need a housing, you know, that you need an education. So I don't know. It's like, yes. For us, when we were deciding the name, it was kind of like the opportunity to give back to the people that matter the most. In this case, our family. And in this case, one of the huge pillars, it's my mom. So the logo, it's my mom when she was 19 years old. And part of the food and who and how I am now as a cook, it's her, you know, because she was teaching me since I was a child. And there was all the support from my parents, like to send me to school, going to university, and then travel a little bit in the world, like cooking in different countries. Everything that we make, it has our logo, and pretty much that's my mom representing that. So that's huge for us as an individuals. And then back home in Mexico, well, all the family is pretty proud of what we're doing, because I feel that it's like a bigger challenge. Since this is not your home country, this is your second language, this is like start from scratch. And for us as a family, it's a start over, you know, like because we were in Saskatchewan, we were settling there, and then we come here aboard, and it's like basically it's new. We have a baby, we have a toddler, so it's just like chaos in the chaos. Right now with the business, we're open 10 to 6 only. And a lot of people, it's like, why don't you open late? Why don't you have a dining? Why do you stay longer? But it's like I always try to say, I feel like the older we get, like we try to balance the personal life and the business. And it's like we have kids. Newfoundland has the space, like, and the chances to have like a dining experience of Mexican. In this stage of our lives, we couldn't offer that. but whatever you need, we'll have it, and then you just have to go home and warm it up and enjoy it, you know? That's kind of like a little bit of the project, and that's more of who we are and what we do.
The chaotic life. Welcome to the kitchen.
Yeah.